Sorry about that, guys. I knocked the button off. So.
How are we?
I'm very good, thank you.
Good, good, good.
Yourselves?
Not too bad.
Good, good.
How you doing?
Yeah, not too bad.
Good man, good man. What's going on today then?
Well, first of all, could I ask you to identify yourself
Yeah,
for
Tim
me?
Smart, 384.
Pardon?
384.
384, no worries. And yourself?
Mark Casey.
And...
5397.
5397. Cool, thank you very much.
You okay?
Yeah, I'm not too bad.
Just the usual?
Yeah, well, just come down to see how the actual local constabulary actually engage with local people. Because at the moment,
We're doing alright.
there's a big divide between the public and the police, not just locally here, but nationally. And it's just about seeing how people actually feel and whether or not, what do you think that the powers that be could actually hopefully bring the two back together again. Because we need a police force.
That's
but
an interesting question. That is... I don't know what the answer is.
well, you personally, what would you like to see that could be
At
done?
the minute, you know?
It is quite bad.
I don't know. I think we've had some quite good feedback recently. What do you think then?
Well, it's not about what I think. I know what I think. That's the reason why I'm out here.
Are you local?
I'm from the UK, yeah.
You know what I mean. Are you local? Or do you travel around doing this?
Nah, I travel around.
I spoke to the last chaps that came, that's all. And just, I wonder what kind of reaction you get then. What do you think about it when you come here?
Well, it's not about what I think. It's about what people then actually see by the way that people actually engage. And that is the actual, that is what the main thing is.
It's important what you think, though, isn't it?
Yeah, but people know what I think because I make that publicly known by what I do.
Have you been here before?
No.
Oh.
No.
Okay. Anything specific that's brought you here today, or just...
Well, yeah, it's just seeing whether or not, it's like for me, I would much rather engage with as many officers as possible.
No, what I mean
okay?
is there's nothing specific that's happened that brought you
No,
here.
no. All what I want to do is basically see how actual officers from this community here actually do feel what they can do to make things better between themselves and local people.
I think as long as we keep doing the right thing, hopefully,
But what is the right thing?
acting appropriately, doing our jobs, serving the public, you know. It's tough times, isn't it?
But what do you class as doing your job?
Upholding the law, keeping people safe. You know, hello there. They're the basics, aren't they? You know, the thing is we're in uncertain times again, aren't we? You know, what's happening with COVID? Are we going to move into different scenarios there? It's always difficult to police, isn't it? Testing times.
Anyway, so quick question for both of you, because you're both sergeants, and it'd be good to actually see what two different sergeants think. Is when you look at the way that things are, right? If now you've got your PCs that are answerable to you guys, okay, being their seniors, okay, sergeants, okay, and then you then go up to inspectors and so on and so forth, okay. Now, if you've seen a senior, i.e. an inspector or above, actually not do their job correctly, in which way then would you actually go about doing your job correctly?
That's a bit cryptic. Yeah. What do you mean by that?
Okay, if you've seen an inspector not actually uphold the law, okay, and actually break the law themselves,
Well, they get dealt with them, don't
then what would you do?
they? They get dealt
Deal
with
with them appropriately.
Yeah.
But could you deal with them? Or did it have to go further?
It's still what you mean.
Yeah,
are
it
you
depends what
talking?
you
Are you
mean.
talking like if a senior officer commits a criminal offence?
Yes.
And they get dealt with the same as any member of the public.
Yeah, through our professional standards department, which is what they're there for. They get investigated.
Yeah, but then we all know to do with professional standards at the moment, okay, where there's a lot of things that have actually been covered up, and even with what come out to do with where professional standards are leaking it to senior officers for those then officers then to actually step down and actually resign instead of actually facing charges.
So what examples what are you talking about there?
Well, when you actually look at the way that it is to do with the police being investigated,
Yeah.
they say about they're independent. They're not independent.
Oh, you're talking IOPC now?
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay. They're not independent at all.
And this is... I disagree, and I think that when it comes to the IOPC, I think that we are vigorously investigated, and I think they are independent of us. In fact, completely independent of us.
Very nice.
The IOPC. That's
Is that what you mean?
Yeah.
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 Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, 100% independent of us.
yeah. I don't think it's as people report sometimes. I don't think it's all this. Well, like you're saying about how people leak stuff, people decide, and no, I don't necessarily agree with that.
Okay. So if we just look back, even at the course of say over the last year, right, and we look at various different things that happened, okay, for crimes that officers have actually committed, right, and then the way that things have been investigated. It's like you even take Wayne Cousins, okay, he was able to actually go all the way, okay, be charged with the murder, but he was still actually classified as an actual serving constable because nothing had actually been done. Now, if he's actually been found guilty, surely that should be the end of his actual job there and then.
Yeah, but there has to be hearings, isn't there? There's a process, isn't there? And that's unfortunate. That is what happens. If the cop gets arrested, they're still a cop, and so investigation's taking place up until charge. Still a cop.
Okay, so here's another thing.
Suspended though, and I mean completely suspended, so they
You
have
have sanctions
no
on-
powers whatsoever.
Yeah, but then when you look, once he had been found guilty by the court, okay, there is no way could the IOPC find him not guilty.
Yeah.
There is no way, okay, once the courts have found him guilty, okay, and it's at that point, okay, that the fool should have said, sorry, you're gone, that's it. As soon as
It
the
was
court...
like him. He was
No, not straight away, weren't. Not straight away, was it?
No, I see what you're saying completely, but I'm saying to you, there has to be that process, isn't there? And yes, as soon as that...
If, let's put it this way, if someone like him has done, if they've committed offences, then they wouldn't have any support from the likes of us.
Okay.
If that's
Yep.
what you mean.
Yeah, no, that's fair enough. Because if you actually take it, now one of the biggest problems is, now as you know, he was in uniform when all that happened and so on. And then even then when you look at an Essex police officer, where he actually came in, he was in uniform, he took an unmarked car out, he went out and he actually robbed a drug dealer. Now, when you look at that, now these are officers, okay, that are meant to be acting under their oath, right, that are in uniform, that have gone out and committed these horrendous crimes, and they are horrendous.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now we all know. Okay. Now we all know to do with drug dealers. Okay. Yep. Okay. That's something that is another crime. But to actually do everything, but you're meant to be there to uphold your oath,
Yeah.
and to actually do something and commit a crime in the uniform, right, is absolutely appalling.
Absolutely.
Absolutely appalling, without any shadow of a doubt.
You won't get any pushback from us for that.
No,
Absolutely.
and I think that that's fair play. It's like when you guys come out, you've been very pleasant, very polite, and that to me is the way that every engagement should be.
I agree. I don't think there's really a place for us to be arguing just because you've got a camera. I don't see the point in that.
Well, no, there
at
is
all.
no point in arguing.
I think you'll see that the problems come with things like this is this auditing is quite new, especially the last year, and I think you'll find that because of the environment that we work in, because of the challenges we face, and the threat to us, to the public, nowadays, when you see somebody, especially when it first started, filming police stations, police cars, there's always that what if question, isn't there? And even the public walk past and I wonder why you're doing it sometimes, don't they? And I watch all the auditing videos, and there's people who then challenge auditors as well, saying, well, why are you doing it? Are you doing it to get a rise out of people? Are you trying to get us to come out and use terrorism powers? You know, because that's what people are concerned about. Now, I think people understand that you guys and girls are out there and you're going to be doing this. And as long as you're not blocking our entrances, as long as they're not trying to get into our police stations, and as long as they're not posing that threat, then this is what you're going to get, isn't it?
Yeah, and this is how it should be done.
You know,
Exactly how it should be done.
Yeah.
Now, you just said that you watch auditing videos.
Yeah.
Who do you normally watch then?
AB, innit? Is it AB?
Yeah.
And then obviously,
What are you?
Okay.
Who are you? Then there's the two lads that came in that we spoke to last time. One, they didn't tell us who they were. And that's the other thing as well, you know, when people do come here, auditors, you get the ones that turn up, you know, with their faces covered, not just these, but you know, again, it's that little bit of, you're the first person I've seen as an auditor that I can see and speak to the face.
Okay.
Which I think, again, helps the interaction, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Because you're going to get that bit of pushback when, unfortunately, these are here to stay, aren't they? And we have to wear these. And if it wasn't for COVID, we wouldn't be covering our faces, would we?
Yeah.
You know?
All I will say is that I know there's certain factions of the public that say all the police are bad, but we are doing a very difficult job in very challenging times, and we are 99.9% of us are doing everything we possibly can to do the right thing.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter what way of life that you're in, you're always going to come across the potential for bad people, for bad eggs. The police is no different from anyone else. However, if they're dealt with properly, that's the only way we can keep the kind of, you know, public faith up, if you like.
Yeah. Well,
and we certainly wouldn't.
Yeah.
We would not defend anybody that's done stuff like that, because that's not what we joined for.
No.
You know, we joined for the right reasons.
Do you mind if I ask how long you've been in the force for?
Well, nearly 20 years now.
Okay, so you've gone through some big changes over that course
Absolutely.
of 20 years.
Huge change.
Okay, now and do you mind if I ask how long you've been in the force for? Same, okay. So you've both been in for the same length of time. Now, you guys must remember the old home beat officers that we had everywhere, okay?
Yeah.
Now, everywhere you went, okay, they knew all the local kids, they knew all the local businesses, everything. Okay, even when you look at all the smaller stations that used to be there, right? Well, what they're doing is they seem to be closing all those down, putting those phones of disconnection in, right, and building these big super police stations. Okay, and it's taking much longer for you guys to actually attend something because it's so much further away, and you haven't got that connection with the local community.
But then look at our Bedfordshire's PCC now. His drive is community policing. He is driving that from the front. That's his priority. You know, and I don't put that on there
To try and get that connection back.
Yeah,
But I think the challenges of policing have changed as well.
Yeah.
So whether you'd ever get that back or not, I don't know.
I don't think you would.
No. Not to the degree that it was. Anyway. But I think that's just, you know, something that we've got limited control over. You know, we still do our best, I guess. But to go back to them times, I just don't think economically it's viable anymore.
We've been cut so much, and our priority has got to be to get out there and save people's lives, isn't it? It's got to be going to these domestics and safeguarding people, isn't it?
Yeah,
You
but
know.
one thing that people have actually put, and there was an actual poll that went up, I believe approximately 6-7 weeks ago, where people were saying to do with the PTSOs and everything else, and it came back by a massive percentage, which I was shocked with, of 70% to 30%, that people would much rather completely get rid of the PCSOs and actually use that money, okay, to actually have actual constables brought through the training system correctly. Now, when you look at your training that you both had, right, how long was your training?
15 weeks. Initial training.
Okay.
And then
2 years.
Yeah.
Okay, so 15 weeks plus 2 years.
Yeah.
Okay. When you look at the training now, how long's the training now?
That's different. Again, it's.
Yeah.
But
We're not going back to that, and we won't go back to that. And that's we had training schools, we had bits and pieces. That's all done in house now, isn't it?
Yeah, but do you not feel that the training is being rushed through, where younger constables are not actually, understanding the job fully?
Not necessarily rushed through. I just think that police has changed completely. I think we're getting younger people join. It's a different environment out there, isn't it? You know, when we joined, we didn't have mobile phones in our faces, everything to deal with. You don't have, everywhere you go now, everything's filmed, everyone's putting pressure, aren't they? You know, and I think that, you know, the experience isn't there on the front line as much anymore, but that's just the way that the cuts are coming, isn't it? Everyone's being pushed through. But the training's still the same, the training's still good quality, you know, it's still the same amount of training,
I think I also, from a personal point of view, I do think that the public put a lot of unnecessary pressure on young cops that are trying to do their best.
Yeah.
In which way? Can you give me an example?
It's just, you know, as you see, you're going about you're trying to do your normal frontline duties, and people are immediately in your face with cameras and stuff like that at the most inappropriate times. I get this, you know, everybody's free to film whatever they feel necessary, but there are times when we are, you know, we're in the middle of dealing with something, and we have to come away and try and deal with other things to, you know, to relieve the immediate pressures and stuff. And it's just a little bit over the top sometimes.
No, I can understand
it's very
that.
difficult.
No, I can understand that it's going to be very difficult.
Yeah.
But then also now I'm going to do exactly what you done a little while ago. I'm now going to flip it the other way, right? And then say, well, even if they have got cameras, okay, now, as you know, the police, councils, everybody have been filming for many, many years, okay, and the cameras are absolutely everywhere.
Don't get me wrong.
But then when you look, if you've actually got a cop, whether or not they're a young cop or someone that's been serving for as long as yourself, okay, that if there is a camera, okay, and they're feeling intimidated by a camera, then maybe they should look, is it the right thing for them?
No, that's not what I meant. So, I do agree that everyone's entitled to film, and I do agree that we are accountable for everything that we do. I agree with that. No issues with that whatsoever. But when people are actively trying to get involved in an incident that's difficult enough to sort out as it is...
Do you mean
rather
trying to
than
provoke the situation?
Yeah, absolutely.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
And the groups of people that now you get surrounded by filming, it's not just one person with a camera, is it? It's everyone trying to get a piece to try and, you know, trip people up and stuff like that. And the other thing as well is when you deal with somebody, actually that person you're dealing with, no one understands what's going on.
Yep.
That person could be a victim of crime or an offender, and we're still getting filmed 24/7 by people who walk past thinking it's funny to do it or try and push it. So I've got no problem with anyone filming me at any point during my career. And like you say, we've got body cams, everything we do we record now.
So it's that level of respect going both ways.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's like, now for me personally, now when I look at a reception area, now I know your one's shut between 1 and 1:45.
Is it?
Yeah, I only found that out when I walked in there. I was like, God. And then when I walked around and seen all the cars, it's like, wow, the whole Nick's on lunch.
No, trust me, they're all out.
And it's like when I actually look, now for me, if I seen anyone in the reception area, I wouldn't even attempt to go anywhere near it, okay, because we don't know the reasons why they're here. It could have taken them a long time to build up that confidence to even come in.
Yeah, absolutely.
And we don't know the reasons for it, and it is about respecting okay, people, because you don't know the reason why they're here.
But it has to be about mutual respect.
Yeah.
Otherwise, the whole thing just falls down.
Yeah.
But no, you're right.
Yeah.
You are right.
But right, we're going back in.
Yeah, because it is cold.
Oh, you're both getting cold, come on.
It is. Oh, you're not cold.
No, definitely not. Definitely not.
Well, it's good to meet you.
Well, can I say, gents, thank you very much.
No, thank you.
Okay, do have a lovely afternoon, and most of all, do take care.
Have a lovely
Be safe.
Christmas.
No worries,
Take
enjoy.
care. See you later. Bye-bye.
Take care. So you can see there, guys, that weren't too bad. That was a really, really good interaction with two sergeants. And yeah, they held themselves really well. And yeah, I think it was quite a productive interaction. And I think if you do actually have sergeants out there, now I've had a number of interactions with sergeants, and the majority of them have actually been quite bad, okay, with the sergeants, because they've always sort of come along and sort of tried to swing their actual balls around everywhere. But then when you look at these two here, they come out, they were quite pleasant, and yeah, it was a good interaction. So yeah, so good on that one. And it was good that you could see as well, and you can see with the sergeants that they do actually watch the actual videos, and it's nice to see AB actually get a shout out by an actual sergeant down here. So guys, I'm going to leave it there, okay, don't forget, okay, like and subscribe, be good, and I'll see you on the next one, peeps. Take it easy.